All right, guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Bo. I am 32 years old and I am on a journey to reach $1 million before retirement age. That is my goal for my net worth. I live in Seattle, which, as a lot of you know, is a high cost of living city. So that's just some context for those who are not familiar with my channel. And for those of you who are new, I am $2,520 richer, which means I just got paid. And so since I got paid, we are going to go through my budget, how I spent, how I plan to save for the month of June. And as you guys know, it is spring going into summer. So I just thought I would switch up the pen here from Sharky to this cute little tulip, just so that it's in line with the season. So without further ado, let's get started. So I just wanted to stop at the goals really quickly because we haven't spoken about it in a while. So I am approaching my second goal here, which is to invest $12,000 in my individual brokerage. You guys will see how much more I have left until I reach that goal in this video, because after my live stream where I set up my June budget, I did get a question that made me question basically what I was doing, why I was hoarding so much money. And so I've decided to switch up my strategy just a little bit in hopes of meeting and even crushing this number. So that's where we are with our goals. And so now let's look into our bills. All right, so for the month of June, we've already spent some money on some bills. So I have paid my YouTube premium bill. Also, I paid rent, and then I paid one grocery bill this month as well, which was $125. I haven't paid my electric yet, and I haven't paid anything towards transportation. So that is where we are with bills. Kind of making some progress, but it's really only the first week of June, and so we will be filling that out in our next video. For our savings goals for the month of June, I don't know how much I'm going to save in my savings account. I don't know if I will or not, but I do plan to save more towards some trips as well as some investments. So for right now, we are sitting at $0 saved for the month of June. And then for our investments, I did add another $2,000 like yesterday. So that was June 6th, 2025. And I added $2,000, which means we are at 14,366 and 67 total. And then this year, we are at, let's see, 2, 3, 7, 8, 9, 10. We are at 10 grand invested this year total. 9 grand if you take out the amount that my husband contributed as well. So it's looking like 2 to 3 grand left in order to meet that $12,000 goal. And as you guys know, I'm kind of shifting that goal to move past it. So we'll see where we go from there. And then again, I haven't saved anything in my emergency fund, so we're not going to be adding anything to this cute little tracker here, which means we're going to move on to the budget and the numbers just to see how we started out the month of June. All right, so I have 3 goals. My first one being 2,500 saved. I've already invested 2,000. And I don't know if you guys are aware, but I use the term saving kind of loosely. So for me, saving is investing and saving in your savings account. So we're at 2,000 out of 2,500. My second goal is to keep my spending tamed. I gave myself a little bit more of a budget for this just because I felt like I was going crazy last month, and you guys will see that coming up soon here. And then my third one is to continue my alternative income stream research, which I can't really get into in depth here because it is just sort of a concept of a thought of a plan, but I do want to just keep this on my radar so that I am moving forward with that. For the month of June, we have 2 paydays this month, one on the 5th and another on the 19th. And yeah, we just reached our first one here, and here's hoping that we can not spend all of our money before the second one. All right, so for the good stuff, we are getting through it. So for this first paycheck, I was awarded $2,520. There was some cents in there, so let me take a look. $2,520.71. That's how much my first check was. And I also got interest of $104 even from my high yield savings account. And for my sinking funds and savings, I did invest $2,000, which I think will be the cap for investing this month, and the rest will be towards just my high yield savings account, but we'll see. And as I mentioned in my expenses so far, I've paid rent, I've paid YouTube premium, and I have paid a little bit towards my miscellaneous spending. For my cabin trip deposit, I did add that to my income because it was from a sinking fund, and I've already spent some things. So I finished paying off the cabin as well as buying a blow up bed. So we're sitting at around $500-ish more dollars left of the sinking fund. So I'm just kind of using it for trip related things until it runs out. So that's where where we are right now. I was expecting the whole cabin to be $2,500, but I forgot that I did put down a deposit, which paid that difference. So I kind of oversaved, which is fine. And now we can go towards our spending. So just for our income, I will add what we have already. So we have 6-1, 25, 6-6, 25. And this was high yield savings account interest and check number 1. The amount was 104 and 2520 and 71 cents. So that's how much we have so far. And then for spending, I spent a lot from the beginning of the month. So I spent $26. I know it says fun spending, but actually it was for a pizza. It wasn't just a fun spending, it was for a pizza. Cone and Compass's ice cream, I spent $4.95 there. Whole Foods run, it was just for some snacks and some stuff to make my husband happy. So that's what that was. $37.86 there. And then June 4th, we had sushi. That was $50, and that's splitting the bill. So that was pretty pricey, which put us at $92.81. But then right before making this video, I actually spent some more money. So I got a gift from my sister because her birthday is coming up in July. And so the gift for her was $31.44. That's how much it was, 44 cents. Also miscellaneous. It was a gift. I'll say gift for sister. And then I had brunch too today. So that was awesome as well. And it was kind of pricey. It was $84.76. So that includes tip, which is great. So that puts us at $209.01 spent so far. That's where we are. And I gave myself $600 for the month. So that puts us at, we have $390.99 left. And I do have some more things that I need to get for my sister's birthday. We are going away in July for her birthday. And then also just more prep for that as well. So I'm glad that I gave myself an extra $200 just because I didn't want to feel crazy, right? So usually I give myself $400, which means I would be already halfway through that right now, and I'm not. So that's great. So yeah, like I said in my live stream, I don't want to feel crazy. So that's why I gave myself $600. There is a little bit of a buffer with that. So there is an extra $100 or so that's just going to kind of sit in my checkings account. I didn't want to allocate every other dollar towards spending because I will actually spend that. But 400 I wasn't feeling 400 this month. I'm kind of letting a little bit more loose this month, making sure that I do prioritize my savings goals. But other than that, I need to just kind of live life a little bit. So that's what I'm doing this month. And I think I'm going to prioritize that going forward just so I don't feel so run down and so like penny pinchy. We are planning another trip after July, I think in December-ish, around that time. So that will cost some money. However, I am changing my strategy up a little bit. As you guys can see here, I invested $2,000 and usually I throw that towards savings, or that's what I've been doing the past few months. And that's literally the opposite of what I sort of talk about on this channel, right? We talk about ways to make your money grow. Saving is a good start, but I'm at a point where I don't need to be doing that since I did reach my yearly 10K goal. And so I'm going to try to invest the rest of my money going forward outside of sinking fund related things. If I'm at the 30K goal, then I don't need to be saving anymore in my high yield savings account in 2025. And so that's where I'm sitting at right now. And with that in mind, that means I'll have at least another $9,000 invested. So that will far surpass the $12,000 investment goal that I did set for myself, which again was sort of not really a reach goal, but it was something that I knew I could reach safely because it's just like a 1,000 per month sort of guaranteed thing. So that's where we are so far for the month of June. That is what we saved, spent, all of that so far. We're only 7 days in, so let's see how the rest of this month goes. I already know that I have some things that I do need to purchase that I haven't yet. So that is where we are. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Leave a comment down below on what you guys are doing for the month of June, how the month of May went, and any plans that you might have for the summer, how you plan to save for them, how you plan to invest, all of that stuff. Leave that down below and I will discuss it with you in the comments.